So, if you have not heard this latest news, the link is in the description. Go check it out for yourself and then come on back. So, apparently, the producers of The Walking Dead responded to the backlash that the season premiere got, and they said that we were able, or Gail Ann Hurd said we were able to look back at the feedback. We were able to look at the feedback on the level of violence, and we did tone it down for episodes we were still filming for later on in the season. My thing is, it's building up to this war with Negan. There is no toning that down. I mean, like, for something like that at that point of the story to be toned down is unrealistic. Wake up, people. Like, what the hell? I mean, I don't get what the PTC... I mean, I just don't get it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, the deaths, Abraham and Glenn's their deaths, they were brutal. Yeah, they were like, and they stay with you. I mean, like, the way they were taken out like that, I mean, like, that's how brutal it needed to be, for it to live up to that moment when Negan makes his appearance, and he shows the group how, how it is, and how he made an example out of one of them. So, I mean, like, there's just no way around that. It happened the way it needed to be done. I mean, like, I haven't heard anything this absurd. The last time I heard something this absurd is when the politics were really butthurt over this video game. I don't know if you guys played it, but around this time, like in the 90s, like in the 80s, or like early 90s, they were just shitting bricks, about this game, saying it was violent and gory, nudity, sexual content, and all that stuff. It lacks on a lot of that. I mean, like, let me see here. Oh, okay. But, I mean, like, there's a certain scene, like, where someone's in the shower, in the bathroom, get ready to take a shower, but they don't get undressed. Not once. They acknowledge one of those creatures that you have to trap in the game, and if you let her die, then they just wrap this little technical, like, machinery around her neck, and they drain blood out of her neck. And that's all they do. It's not like they tear off her nipples or anything, or rape her or anything like that. There's nothing. I mean, there's none of that. But anyway, back on topic here. Now, excuse me. Now, apparently, the PTC never heard of Game of Thrones. They obviously never had. I mean, like, if they did, they would be like, oh man, they would be tearing that show up for what they do. They've done much worse They've done much worse than The Walking Dead. I mean, like, do I have to mention, like, the Red Wedding? Come on, seriously, seriously. I mean, like, but hey, by all means, throw the Walking Dead under the bus, because some parents are all angry because they decide to let their kids watch the show, and they don't want to take responsibility. They want to just bash the show, like, it's all the show's fault. It's all AMC's fault. It's not the parents' fault. Oh man, I mean, like, for all of you, who support this, and the PTC specifically, I mean, like, all of you, like, gather in a circle. All of you gather in a circle. I mean, like, you guys need to pull your heads out of your asses, for realsies. I mean, like, if you don't like what they're doing, don't watch the show. If you don't like what they're doing, don't let your kid watch the show. You don't want your kids to watch it anymore, then put on the parental control, on your cable box, on whatever. Okay? I mean, don't try to mess it up for everybody else. I'm a grown ass man. I mean, like, don't try to ruin it for me. Just because, you don't want your kids to watch it doesn't mean I shouldn't watch it either. I mean, come on now. But, I don't know what to say here. And for those of you, like, I hope all of you producers of The Walking Dead, Gail Ann Hurd, Scott Gimple, Greg Nicotero, Robert Kirkman, all of you. I hope you guys are watching this. Here's the thing. If if you're gonna tone down the violence, do it when the story needs the violence to tone down, and when the story needs the violence to crank up, crank that shit up, crank it up. I mean, seriously, we're in. Excuse me. We are in store for some other gruesome deaths. I think primarily we're in for like a couple more in season 8. Like when we get introduced to another story after the war with Negan. I mean, trying to tone all that down. I mean, trying to tiptoe around the PTC. It's not a good look for you. It's not good for the show. It's not gonna save the show. It's not gonna. That's just gonna. Oh man. That's just gonna do more harm than good. I mean, like, for all of you fans, everybody who agrees with me, like all of the fans, share this video, spread the word, put it all over social media. I mean, seriously. I mean, like, what the hell? I mean, this is absurd. Like, if, I'm just saying, like, okay, like, if the, like I said, if the violence needs to be toned down for like for like an episode where the violence is not needed, then okay. But for it to be toned down overall throughout the whole show, like through the whole show's running time, like for as long as the show is still running, no. I mean, like, you're talking about a show about people trying to survive in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. I mean, come on. I mean, like, you want... I mean, like, do you... Like, so is Rick gonna attack Negan with unicorns? I mean, are they gonna start... Are they gonna, Are walkers are gonna devour pinatas and then all Tootsie Rolls and stuff are gonna come out instead of guts and stuff? I mean, like, are we gonna... Are people gonna start... What, our intestines and stuff's gonna be made of glitter and Skittles and what the fuck? I mean, doesn't make sense. I mean, like, are they gonna use super soakers for weapons and balloons instead of baseball bats and pipes and axes and knives and whatever? We're just gonna use balloons. I mean, like, what the fuck? I mean, does toning down the violence for a show like this make any sense? No, it doesn't. I mean, like, I'm just saying. I mean, like, there are other worse shows. I mean, like, Game of Thrones, primarily when it comes to the violence. I mean, they go all out. I mean, like, what we know with that violence, sex, everything. I mean, like, they've killed kids on that show. I mean, like, like child characters on that show. I mean, come on. I mean, like, I mean, the only time that excuse me, the only time that I would think that The Walking Dead would go too far is if they decide to kill Judith. Yeah, I don't think I can wrap my brain around that. I don't know. I mean, like, I wouldn't stop watching the show, but I would say, you did not need to kill off Judith. That's all. I mean, that's the only time. Or kill off Rick, like, while the show is still running. I mean, save his death for the very, 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 very final episode where you're done. It's the final season. Kill off Rick, whatever. Like in the series finale. Then yeah, that would be more acceptable to me. But considering how many times how he survived this long, it begs the question, like, what would be the most logical way to kill off Rick Grimes? But anyway, back on topic, the violence cannot be toned down overall. It just cannot. It's not going to save the show. It's not. I mean, like, you can't... I mean, like, there's nobody... I mean, you just can't satisfy anybody anymore. I mean, like, who do we not want to piss off? The comic book readers who are also watch the show? Or people who just watch the show? Or the PTC parents? You should focus more on satisfying the fans, people who appreciate the work that you're bringing to the show. You know, seriously, that's just me personally. I think that's the better route for you to take. Not pleasing, not being afraid to piss off the PTC. I mean, like, what? It's just not a good idea. It's not. But yeah, that's my rant on this little confirmation or whatever. But if you guys enjoyed my review or if you agree with what I'm saying here, make sure you thumb up the video. Make sure you click subscribe if you're a newbie to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I'm sorry for my cold. I'm like 80% better right now, or getting close to 80%. So, but anyway, yeah, I mean, spread the word out. I mean, like, this this cannot be allowed. I mean, this shit has to be shut down, no exceptions, as a crazy motherfucker once said. So, yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, y'all. And feel free to share your comments, you know, like, on this topic. I like to hear your thoughts, too. And you better fucking tell me what you think of this. And if you do support it, please, by all means, let me know what you think. I'd like to hear your thoughts. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, y'all.